Yeah, Lana Del Rey is here. Can you feel like the buzz, going on through the building here?
I don't know, but I feel the buzz in myself. I'm like, where, like this, it's just crazy.
It is. This has been, how long since you've released, just a year, right? You didn't do...
My last record or the last song?
The last song.
I had a couple in August and September, and then I put one out in February. But it was, like a longer...
Kind of pushing this thing here.
Longer track.
Why are they obsessed with you? Because there's a different level of obsession with you and just love for you than some typical artists that are very successful. Do you have a theory? And I've taken a little bit of a survey. I can tell you what they've said, but do you have an answer?
Well, I think I have a little bit of a connection with young women in a way, or women that some people might not expect or see right off the bat. And I think there's like a very thoughtful group of people who are, the kind of people who read between the lines and know that like the stuff that people put out, it's not all about just rhyming words together or, a simple melody. Like there's an intention that comes through. So I feel like it's met somewhere with a like-minded little group of people, and there's a lot of eclectic folks out there.
Yeah. And a girl named Samantha says the reason she likes you, because I asked her, I'm like, all right, what is it about Lana? She's not trying to be a pop star.
Oh.
She's just Lana, and she has she loves the sultry darkness that you have.
There's a little sulch.
So your comment to that, is that accurate or a fair point, or you're not trying to be, you're just kind of you, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, I'm like everybody where I feel like I'm like, constantly learning about myself. And sometimes I'm like, shouldn't I have known everything there is to know by now? We're way out of college and all that. But I'm definitely on my own path. And, I love the idea of honoring that and feeling like there's a real merit to turning inward and like asking yourself, what do I want to write today? Like, should I even be writing today? Or how do I want to be creative? Because sometimes I want to do something else that I'm not even good at. And so yeah, I've got definitely marching to the beat of my own drum. But yeah, that's working. Cool that she said that.
This new album, I'm going to ask you about the album sonically and musically later, but part one of the album, I want to know just the title. Why the Norman effin' Rockwell? Why the title? Give me all that.
Oh my gosh. Well, I think I've kind of said before, like I feel somehow in some of my titles, they end up sort of reflecting back to me where I'm at in my version of like the concept of the American dream or whatever. And so I have been thinking about this line I wrote in Venice Biatch. About
say that again.
Venice Biatch.
Nice.
Just kidding. Leave it. And I was writing about just a little line that talking about a lover. Paint me the color blue. Paint me the color light blue. And like Norman Rockwell. And then it got me thinking about Norman Rockwell and how so many of his paintings in the 50s kind of summed up where the American dream was at. And then I was thinking about where the American dream is at now, today. And I just thought, geez, like Norman effing Rockwell. Like, what would he think? Like, what would everyone think? So yeah, like a slight humorous commentary, a tiny exclamation point on the current state of affairs of the nation,
which is a very interesting place we are at.
It's just interesting. Sure. Yeah, I mean, if I'm noticing it, it's definitely interesting.
Lana, talk about this album musically now. Norman effin' Rockwell.
Yes.
Fill me in.
Well, I made it with Jack Antonoff,
which he was at the star presentation too, was he not?
I made him come.
I could have sworn. I wasn't sure if I saw him or not, but no. I'm like, okay.
I was like, Jack, you have to.
Okay.
And then, of course, Jack is so elusive. He's like, yeah, I know, J.J. Abrams. We're friends. I was like, well, then you must come.
Oh, my God.
Like, what are the chances that you would know all these amazing people? So, yeah, I dragged him down. But so I made the record mostly with him, although I did have about 3 tracks that I had done a couple years ago. Before I started working with him that I wanted to put on the record. And I had never worked with him before. But the first day I went down to meet him, he was like, I just want to play you a couple chord progressions and see if you like them. And so we sat down and played a few progressions. And I've said it before, but I actually asked him, am I allowed to have that? Like, can I have ownership over those 6 chords? Because I know I can write something beautiful. And he was like, of course. He's so casual about it. But he's pretty prodigious in his like musicianship. So yeah, I was totally not expecting to be in a writing mode. And as soon as we did that first song, Love Song, we wrote it in an hour. I mentioned to him that I had this song, a long song, like a 7-minute song that I was journaling, and could he record me a cappella just to hear what his mic sounded like. And so he recorded me a cappella and then started playing piano over it. He just came up with a piano part. And so we had 2 tracks in a couple of hours, and I was like, not only is this going so quickly, but it's really like good. Like, cause I can pull back objectively and look at stuff. Some of the stuff I do is like trash. And then the other stuff I'm like, oh, that melody's really cool. So yeah.
So you knew early on that this was meant to be?
I thought it was pretty special. Yeah, we didn't have a direction at first, but after doing a few songs, I was like thinking this is kind of going to have a singer-songwriter feel to it. Like maybe not too much additional production other than some surfy elements.
Right.
And yeah, we didn't go crazy with the production, and yeah.
There you go. Album is out. Norman effin' Rockwell. Lana, let's do this track, Doing Time.
Let's do it.
What do I need to know about this thing?
Well, first of all, I love Sublime. I love this track. Totally unexpected that I was going to do it. But my label, Interscope, was making a documentary about Sublime's life story and asked me to do a cover. So I did it. I did it with Andrew Watt and got a couple of Long Beach players and a couple of, amazing musicians to jump on the track. And there we go.
Any of the current members of Sublime comment?
Yes. Bass player.
What'd they
wait,
say?
comment?
Oh, yeah, he played on it?
Yes.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Comment, I think they like it. I think, we're all a little bit surprised that it's, being played on certain stations at all, just because it was so much for their documentary.
Right.
But, I mean, obviously love them to friggin' pieces and hope they like it. And I know they're touring Sublime with Rome, so they got a lot going on too.
We got a tour. Give me some tour info. What can you say about this tour thing?
So we got a little cool, it's eventually going to be a 4-part tour, but 1 and 2 has been announced. So we've got some European and UK shows, but around here we are doing a show at the Greek in San Fran. We're going to do the Hollywood Bowl out here.
Nice.
Yeah, amazing. And Jones Beach in, outside of NYC.
Right.
So some really cool open air venues. And yeah, we're pretty much going up and down the, Northwest coast.
Quick recap. Norman effin' Rockwell. It's out. The single Doing Time. It's out. Forgot to mention the Charlie's Angels collab with Ariana and Miley.
Yes.
Give me a little something on that.
Well, I love Ari, and she called me and asked me if I would do a song with her for the title track, and I was like, yes, let's do it. So I wrote a bridge for the stuff she had already done, and then Miley jumped on and did the second verse. So yeah, it was funny. And we shot a really funny video. I think it's coming out in a couple weeks. So definitely a lot going on.